I want you to visualize something. I want to go through an exercise with you. I want you to imagine a simple map of your current space, right now where you are in this building. I want you to look at it from a bird's eye view from the top. I want you to also mentally take notes of your surrounding. There's a control table, there's a front table, we have the projector, you have all of these things, right? Now, an activity like this actually promotes spatial learning. And we do this every single day. We go to work, we go to school, we just use what we have in our mind, but because of the experience, we develop that spatial literacy. Now, while you did that, maybe you've thought about how did you put yourself in that place? Because you had to visualize everything. You might think about what could have been some of the challenges that you faced. Maybe you did not know that there was a table at the back, so that is where you have to go and get that experience to know where you are. And again, how might spatial thinking like this be useful in the real world? Well, I want to let you know if there was supposed to be an emergency evacuation, can you kind of point where you're going to go quickly? Yeah, right? So you're taking note of what is inside your space. Now, I want to tell you about a story. Of course, spatial literacy refers to the ability to understand, interpret, and use spatial relationships, patterns, and concepts effectively in both the real world and also in the abstract aspect of the words. Now, last year I had a digital art class. I introduced my students to the concept of layers using printed marks of beliefs. Now, layers, when you're doing any type of art or even different work on the computers, you do have where you got to put your background and then so-called group build upon that. For students to do all of these type of things, what we do is that we give them that hands-on experience. Again, just like the bicycle, you could have all the theory and you could check the boxes, but if you do not understand how it works or actually apply it, then you are not competent in that state. They added districts, towns, personal interests. And when we talk about personal interest, they would be like, so you know what? I've never been to Horizon. I wonder how the tapas taste there versus Orange Walk tacos. Right? So you're actually looking at real-world column, right? You want to figure out where's the nicest taco, so you're going to pin that out. So students actually put on some craft materials into pointing things that they're interested in. And as we look at it, when we start to compile, we actually end up with layers. One of the students says, sir, but you know what? What if we take this information and this application and we create this application and we create an app that tour guides can use that when you punch in what you want, it only gives you what you need to see or what you want exactly. So you could look at that and students actually did an application to do wonderful stuff. All right. So yes, we do teach coding, we teach all of these things, but what we do, we basically facilitate. And students like yourself come with a lot of information and a lot of creativity just ready to be, channeled. So again, they added these features which led to a guided up. And again, they use ArcGIS tools to transform up into interactive learning experiences. Now, I didn't know about GIS before. And while I was taking the training and the tutorials, I was smiling to myself because these things that we're teaching in the classroom, we can actually see it right on GIS, and it's not even difficult. It is super easy. And it becomes complex as you move on with your creativity. Now, it depends how far you want to push the boundaries, that type of work you're going to be getting out from that. In September, we adopted ArcGIS to enhance learning beyond the classroom, aiming to integrate this powerful tool in our daily lesson, making education more interactive and engaging because it's at STEAM Academy, we connect classroom concepts to real-life challenges, preparing students to make meaningful contribution to their communities. Now again, as we look at education, what is education if you cannot apply it to make changes in the world? Our students are actually getting out there and engaging with the community. And we look at things like drainage. We look at things like maybe areas that are not well maintained. And the students are actually gathering data and they're thinking about how can we make this possible? How can we make it better? I believe adults like ourselves, sometimes they don't have that time and the capacity to do all that. But you who are the young and the future of this country, you have a lot to say. And so you should use that same power to actually make those changes. Our students started a project inspired by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, thinking globally and acting locally. We teach coding and GIS to prepare students for the digital world, ensuring they have the skills needed for a rapidly evolving future. And again, as mentioned with AI, a lot of us have not taken the time out to think about how that works, where we use it. And what we want to develop is competent students and people that allows themselves to learn these things. Now, since we've been using GIS, all right, so when we look at STEAM here, we know that it fosters spatial thinking, of course, right? It's at STEAM Academy, we embrace ArcGIS to unlock these opportunities. Every teaching cycle, students spend 2 hours immersed in spatial exploration, learning to gather, analyze, and visualize data creatively. Our recent project on green spaces and park exemplify this. Students analyze why certain areas were underutilized, using ArcGIS to collect data on safety, accessibility, and of course, user feedback. Their findings did not just stay in the classroom. They offered actionable solutions to improve their communities. And again, they're taking observation, taking down data, thinking about what they could do to make their communities better. Using ArcGIS, they located parks with, of course, ArcGIS Map Viewer, collected data, visualized that data, analyzed the data with ArcGIS Survey 123, and of course, in a friendly manner, they use ArcGIS story maps to communicate their findings to make it easier for the population to actually look at. Imagine what a project like this can accomplish by observing their surroundings, identifying needs, and brainstorming solutions. Students become active participants in their own environment. Now, how can spatial thinking promote STEAM education? Spatial thinking promotes STEAM education by enhancing learning through mapping, which add context to studies. It builds global connectivity by allowing students to explore local issues and connect these efforts with global challenges. It fosters creativity, expression, by actually allowing the students to create digital map, blending creativity with data. Additionally, it promotes problem solving and critical thinking by having students collect and analyze data, providing practical solutions to improve their communities. Best of all, schools can access this software for free through Esri ArcGIS for School program, which include self-paced training. And this is awesome because it's not rushing it off. I had that awesome experience. I traveled every day 2 hours on the bus from Powell to Belize. And I would just open the ArcGIS system and I would do a certificate. I challenged myself to say what I could do in 2 hours, at least 2 days or a week, to see if I could gain some certificate. I had to stop myself a little bit because it was getting too much. I didn't want to overpower myself like that. So again, there are tutorials, and of course there is awesome support from TBSL. I mean, these ladies and the team actually on Sunday, anytime I need. Hey, you know what? Can I get help with this? Or I can't log in, but this is not working. Guarantee you, not even 5 minutes, they're right there. I have to wonder, are they just full time? Are they humans? What are they doing? Are they AI? You know, these things comes up, right? And again, This makes it easier for all schools to promote STEAM education at no cost. Now, I want to finish off, and I have a challenge. I challenge you all, students and educators. Let's build our world through maps, not just for navigating, but to reflect our experiences, interests, and goals. Young people, you have the power to make an impact. Start with curiosity. Map places that matters to you. We all play a role in building spatial literacy. Of course, you don't need to be a technical expert. We just need to have that drive to understand issues, brainstorm solution, and use available tools like ArcGIS to make sure we can utilize the technology as well. The world is vast, and every map is a story waiting to be told. The best time to start is now. Thank you very much.